Okay, so the warm-up is the same for all three of these little exercise sessions I've sent to you, these little workouts. So we'll go through all three workouts. So it's quite intense hour, I'm afraid, but yeah, to give you an idea of the workouts that I've sent to you. So the warm-up starts with a shoulder blade roll. So let the arms hang heavy by your sides. And I like when I'm exercising to start with this exercise, just because it's relaxing and it just brings me into the room, grounds me, and I can start thinking about my core. So perhaps starting to draw in my deep tummy muscles and starting to find a lift through the pelvic floor. And then turn that into an elbow circle, which now includes the glenohumeral joint, your shoulder joint. So bringing the elbows as far apart as you can get them, and then as close as you can get them. So nice big circles. So they're all exercises that you'll be familiar with. And then bringing your hands into a prayer position, keeping your hips nice and still, come into a little twist. So if your fingers press against your breastbone, and they stay pressing against your breastbone, so the arms aren't swinging independently, they're attached to your chest, and your nose is in line with your fingers. So grow nice and tall, keep the hips still, and try and isolate this nice rotation into your thoracic spine. So the twist's coming from your waist, waking up your obliques. And then come into a side bend stretch. So reach one arm up and over, and then change. And slide the other hand down your thigh. So start with a small side bend and then just gradually allow that side bend to get deeper. Okay, so that's your upper body all nicely warmed up. Have your feet slightly wider and start to circle the pelvis. So if you imagine your hips are inside a hula hoop and you're just trying to touch the whole circumference of that hula hoop. And then back the other way. And then bring your feet back into hip distance. Reach your fingertips up to the ceiling. Bend your knees and then reach your hands behind you as you straighten your legs. Bend your knees and reach up. Bend your knees and reach back and extend. And then just let those arms swing as we come into our general body warm-up. Start to introduce a little bit of knee and hip flexion. One more. And then place your hands back onto your hips, lift your heels, and then just finish off with a little ankle warm-up. So as I say, for each of those three workouts, whether you do workout 1, 2, or 3, that warm-up's the same. What I thought we'd do is we'd just do each exercise for about 30 seconds. For some, we might only do 20 because some of them are quite strong, particularly as we get to the third workout where we're already a little bit tired. You might appreciate only doing them for 20 seconds or so. Okay, so this first workout took me 10 minutes to do. So what we'll do is put your bands on first. I'll do this, set the timer. So if you've got your loop bands handy, we'll do 30 seconds of each exercise. Now you don't have to do them one after the other. It's just that we've got quite a lot to do in 1 hour if we're going to go through all the exercises. You can always have a pause when you come back to do this on your own. Okay, so the first exercise is a squat. And you're pressing out into the band and reaching your bottom back, keeping knees in line with toes. So you can do a shallow squat, or as you get stronger, start to target your bottom to a sort of lower level. Try and get as low as you can. Oh, careful. Think about your core being engaged. Draw those tummy muscles in and find that lift through your pelvic floor. Bring your hands to your pelvis and step your right leg and then left leg out to the side. So I've just hinged forward at the hips, the spine straight. So make sure you've got that little curve in your low back. And just press out into your resistance band. So take your weight into your right leg, step out with your left. Take your weight into your left leg, step out with your right. Staying in a lower position. And then we're going to walk sideways the length of your mat, or as far as you can. Room allowing. So again, you're in this hinged forward position, the spine's nice and straight, tummy muscles engaged. And make sure you press out with the outer borders of your thighs. So hopefully you're starting to really feel those bottom muscles working. Okay, so that's taken us 1.5 minutes. Keep your band handy and come and lie down on your mat. So 3 abdominal exercises, same thing, we'll do 3 of them back to back. First one is your 100, so we're all happy with 100s. Pulsing the arms either with legs straight or legs bent. Okay, off we go. So breathing in, if you've got your legs straight, turn them out slightly and press your heels together. Make sure you can feel your thigh muscles working. You don't need to count, just breathe. And you can have your legs as high or as low as you want to challenge yourself. Make sure you're off your shoulder blades and you can support your head with one hand and count with the other hand. If you don't have to count, sorry, just pulse with the other hand. Now bring both hands behind your head and come into your one leg stretch legs. So please feel free to rest at any time. So have you got your core engaged as you're doing your one leg stretch? So draw those deep tummy muscles in. Make sure you're breathing. So we're going to continue exactly the same with the legs. You're just going to add a little rotation of your upper body. So try and do a nice little scooping action with your upper body. So shoulder blade towards the opposite hip. So pelvis stays nice and still. Your legs are extending and then drawing back towards your chest as you add your little scoop of your upper body. We're nearly there. Only got another 8 seconds. 5 seconds, 2, and hug your knees in towards your chest. Well done. Pop your bands back on and bring your band again back up above your knees into your shoulder bridge. Okay, so your heels are in towards your bottom. We're going to lift and lower your hips as you press out into your band. Off we go. So press the band wide and squeeze your glutes at the top. So depending on how wide your band allows your knees to go, you may find your sort of weight bearing into the outer border of your feet. Those black ones that I've got in the studio, I definitely have my feet flat because they're very tight. So we'll all be different. So squeeze the glutes at the top. Okay, we're going to hold the glutes at the top and go into our hip dips. So drop the right hip, left hip, right hip and left hip. And just go from one side to the other, releasing and contracting. Keep pressing wide into your band. Squeeze and release. Okay, small pulses. Press wide into your band. Very small lifts and lowers. Right at the top of the range. Hopefully just really engaging into those bottom muscles. Feel that lovely burn in your glutes. Keep breathing. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Hug your knees in towards your chest and you can remove your bands. And align your fronts. And your arms are by your side. So straight arms by your side, your legs are extended behind you. Little bit of weight through your pubic bone. You're going to lift your head, neck and chest, lift the legs, reach your shoulder blades and fingertips towards your toes, and then lower back down. Off we go. So lifting and lowering. Try and keep those knees nice and straight. So this is a straightforward dart. So when you've lifted your head, neck and chest and your legs, you should feel like a dart that's being thrown, aiming for the bullseye. Or just off the board, usually when I place. Hold and kick your legs. So keep reaching the shoulder blades and fingertips towards your toes and just kick, 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 kick the legs. Like a little fish. Yeah. Oh dear. Kick, 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 try and work those glutes. Now bring your fingertips together on both hands. Keep the legs still now and turn the palms down and up, rotating from the shoulders. This horrible one for your triceps. So your elbows are fully straightened, neck nice and long, and you're twisting from the shoulder joint, not just the wrists. So turn the palms up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. No need to count. Keep the shoulder blades still and just let the shoulders move themselves. So you don't have to lift and squeeze, just the shoulders. That's it. Reach, reach, reach. 3, 2, 1. Well done. So sit yourself back into a shell stretch. Just have a little moment there. And then we're coming on to our side bend. So I know I'm rushing through these. When you come to, if and when you come to do these in your own time, you obviously don't have to rush through them as much. Make sure your feet are stacked, your knees are stacked, and your heels in line with your bottom. Palms facing, we're going to come up and over into a side bend. So exhaling as you lift, inhaling as you lower. Breathing out, breathing in. And you can go slower or faster, depending on what your mood's like that day. Keep your knees stacked and your knees bent, Louise. That's it. Now bring your hand to your top hip. Lift your knee as you lift your pelvis and then lower back down. And lift and lower. And if that top knee as high as you can, you get sore in the neck at all, remember just to look down at your forearm. Always, you can do your stationary clams if the side bends get too much. And if you can't do the full minute and a half, you can always work to it. Hold and just clam. So going for endurance now in these underneath muscles. Okay, we've got 10 seconds. Breathe. 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Just kind of have a counter stretch. And then swing around to the other side. Okay, so those heels are in line with your bottom. Elbow in line with your shoulder. Palm facing the ceiling, ready to come up for your side bends. Up and up, keep the knees closed, sorry, that was just me testing. Up and over. Exhaling, inhaling. Bring your hand to your top hip, into your clams with the side bend. Go up and hold just the knee, just the clams. It's a burner. Over halfway now. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Come over and counter stretch. Okay, coming onto your hands and knees. Find your lovely S-shaped curve through your spine. Tuck your toes under as you extend your right leg. Tuck your toes under on the left as you extend your left leg. We're going to hold a nice, strong, straight plank for 30 seconds. Shoulder blades down. Press back into your heels so you can feel your calf stretch. Strong with your upper body. Push the floor away. Draw the chin in and press the back of the head and neck to the ceiling. So you should feel you're in a nice diagonal line from the back of your head to your heels. Breathe wide and full into the sides of the ribs. Now we're going to rock forwards and backwards, mobilizing through the toes, back into a calf stretch, and then rocking forwards. 20 seconds to go. 15, 10, 5, 3, 2, and 1. Sit back into a shell stretch. That is the end of your first workout. Yeah, so we did that in 10 minutes, just over 10 minutes. So if you just want a quick workout, there's one you can go to. All right, so have a quick drink and then we'll go into the second workout. So the equipment you need for your second workout, if you have a weight, I haven't got one on me at the moment, so, but I have done this twice today. So. If you've got a resistance band as well, please. One of these with handles preferably if you've got. If not, you can do all the exercises without. Okay, so coming back into standing with your weight. So we're going to do the same thing as we did with workout 1. So with your weight in your hand, hold it close to your chest. Take your feet wide and turn the feet out. And we're going to come into a wide leg squat. Just a hand weight, 2 seconds. Let me just wait for Louise. We're just doing this one for 30 seconds, so you only need the weight for this first exercise. Are we ready? Okay, off we go. So wide leg squat. And get that bottom as low as you can. That's it, have the bigger one. Now, I like to hold the weight to my chest when I've got one, and so that I can lift my chest to the weight. Keep the shoulder blades down, and it'll help to keep your spine straight, particularly when we come to the second and third exercise. So again, you can pace yourself nice and slow, nice and deep, or you can do a little bit faster, depending on how you're feeling. Now, coming to a squat position, hips hinged. Take your weight into your left leg and reach your right leg forwards and backwards. Again, shoulder blades down, chest forward towards the weight, so you've got this natural little curve in your low back. You can tap your foot forwards and backwards if you need to, or try and challenge your balance and keep the foot off the floor. So the more you bend your standing leg, the more you hinge forward at the hips, the harder that leg's going to work. So let's come on to the other leg. So transfer your weight onto your other leg. So this one's a good one for cycling and running. Make sure your tummy muscles are drawn in. So think about really being strong and powerful in that standing leg. Okay, 3, 2, and 1. Give those legs a shake. Going back down onto the mat. Have your resistance band handy. Okay, so we'll do our 3 abdominal exercises. So lying on your back, no equipment needed for these ones. Okay, hands behind your head, come up into double tabletop. Bring your feet together, knees wide, and we're just going to extend the legs away on the diagonal and then draw them back. So exhaling, inhaling. Take the legs higher if you need to, or take them lower to make it more challenging. Press the bottom of your breastbone down to lift those shoulder blades. Work with your breath. Exhale, inhale back. Couple more. And we're coming into our scissors, so straight leg scissors, pulse, pulse, pulse. So find a nice hamstring stretch. You can flex your foot for a bit more of a myofascial stretch, or you can point your toes. Try and reach as high up your leg as you can towards your ankle. Find that hamstring stretch each time. Elbows are wide, shoulder blades are down away from your ears. Hands behind your head, legs in tabletop. Dip your toes towards the floor, imprinting your low back. Exhale as you dip, inhale, return. Nearly there, halfway. Shoulder blades off the mat. Exhaling, inhaling. Now clearly this is a bit more tiring because we've already done some abdominal exercises. So if you were fresh and this was the first time you'd done it, 30 seconds might be enough of each one. You might want to go for 40 or 50 and have a break in between each one. So you can either break them up or do them back to back. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Oh, and just have a little breather there. Coming onto your front, you need your resistance bands. The resistance bands want to be the width of your shoulders, so just wrap the resistance bands around until they are about shoulder width. Legs extended behind you again. Elbows and arms in an L shape. So your first one is to just squeeze your shoulder blades together as you lift your head, neck and chest and legs and lower. And as you squeeze your shoulder blades together, you just pull on the band very slightly. So take a breath in and exhale, lift and lower. So working the back of the body again. So a little bit of tension into the band, neck nice and long. So the band is in line with my chin. So if you focus on squeezing the shoulder blades together, you may find you naturally apply a little bit of tension to the band. Try and keep the legs strong and straight. So hold your upper body, hold your legs lifted, reach the arms above your head, draw them down as you pull wide into your band and then lower and relax. Lift, reach the arms above your head, draw down and wide and lower. Lift, reach, pull wide, elbows down to waist and lower. Lift, extend the arms, draw them down and rest. One more like that. And this time we're going to keep everything lifted, head, neck, chest, and reach the arms and pull down wide. Reach and pull, reach and pull. 15 seconds. So really strengthening into those upper back, mid back, low back muscles. Always keep the legs down if it gets too much. Like I said before, you don't have to do them back to back like we are doing tonight. Sit back into a shell stretch. Extend your arms above your head. And have a little rest there. Okay, so now you're going to place the band on your left foot, the handle. Bring the band between your knees and then hold on to the handle with your right hand. Just shorten the handle enough. So when you're in 4-point kneeling, you extend your leg, you've got some tension in the band. Okay, so you want to be able to kick your leg forwards and backwards. So find your lovely S shape through your spine, wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. So we'll start with a bent knee, kick out to a straight leg, come back to a bent knee. Straight leg, bent knee. So just letting that leg swing forwards and backwards. Keep pressing the back of your head and neck to the ceiling. Keep your hips parallel to the floor. Keep that pubic bone to belly button awareness. Hold the leg extended now and tap the toes and lift and tap and lift. So strong straight leg and really feel that glute working. If you keep that pubic bone to belly button, so you're drawing the tummy muscles in, that should really isolate it into that bottom. Strong with your arms, make sure the head's not slowly lowering. And then keep the leg lifted and draw a circle. Be as small or as big as you like, as long as you're keeping your pelvis and your low back as still as you can. We're only doing them in one direction, you'll be pleased to know. Scan through your body, check your head position, your chest position, your pelvic position. We've got 8 seconds. And then have a little sit back into a shell stretch. While you're there, put your band on your right foot and put your handle in your left hand. Okay, pop back up. Again, just check that you've got enough tension in your band as you reach your leg away. Find your S shape through your spine. A bit fiddly to set this up, sorry. Okay, off we go then. Swinging that leg forwards and backwards. Kick the leg away. Pubic bone to belly button, just to limit your hip extension. Strong with your upper body, hold the leg extended, tap the toes to the floor and lift. Keep your pelvis parallel to the floor, core engaged. Don't let your head drop. Hold your leg extended and circle. Another 9 seconds. 7, 5, 3, 2, and 1. And sit back. Well done. Have a little stretch back. Pop your band on your right foot, sorry, your left foot again. Come onto your side. Keep your underneath knee bent. Bring your band behind you and take hold of it with your right hand. And just extend your right hand away. So the band's behind you, so left foot, lie down, bring it behind you. That's it. I can't straighten my arm. Okay, so make the band tighter if you need to by wrapping it around. Rest your head down onto your underneath arm. Right, check your underneath waist is lifted. So we're going to lift and lower, working the sides of the bottom. So just check with your top hand that your underneath waist is lifted. And really reach your top leg into your handle of your band. Lift and just kick very slightly back so you can feel the back of the pelvis. Bring your top hip forward slightly if you need to. Keep your leg lifted, point forwards and flex back. Point forwards and flex back. You can use this top hand. If your band flicks in front of you, just use your top hand to keep it back. Point and flex the foot. So hip flexion extension, think about that pubic bone to belly button connection. So it's not coming into your low back. Just that hip joint, flexion, extension. And then circles, 30 seconds. It's a burner. Feel it all around here. Nearly there, just 15 seconds. 10. 5. And relax. Well done, give that bottom hip a good rub. We're going to come on to the other side. So put the band on your right foot. And bring the band behind you into your left hand. Lie yourself down. Make the band a bit shorter if you wish to. Rest your head in your arm. Okay, off we go. Underneath waist lifted. Lift and lower. So really stretch and reach into your band. So use your top hand just to check there's a gap. Kick the leg very slightly backwards. Hold, forwards and backwards, pointing and flexing the foot. Strong straight leg, try not to let that knee bend. And circles. Roll that top hip forward if you need to get into those bottom muscles, and make sure that foot's going far enough back. Not just keeping it all to the front of your mat, take it to the back of the mat. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Well done. Last one for this workout, coming onto your hands and knees. So we're going to finish with a mountain climber. So step back into a plank and tap your toes right to left, right to left. So maintaining that nice long straight plank. So we're coming up to 30 seconds. You're welcome to have a rest. You can stay at this pace for another 30 seconds or join me and come into double time. 20 seconds to go. 10. 5. And relax, well done. Well done, that was your second workout. Ooh, we're getting through it today, aren't we? Grab a drink. Okay, so for workout 3, you just need 2 blocks. So you get rid of the other bits of equipment. If you've got a couple of books, preferably not too slippy. Perfect. All right, so we're going to come into standing. Again, they all start with, so we've all got some legs, all got some abs, all got some back, all got some glutes, all got some side of the body, so all 3 workouts. So have your feet just slightly wider than your hips. Oh, I'll show you what we're doing first. Down, arms behind, and power up onto the balls of your toes. Okay, so swinging your arms up. Down into a squat. Then imagine you're going to jump and throw yourself up to the ceiling. Press into that big toe, second toe part of your foot. So lifting those heels. So you can stay at this level, or we can add a jump. But make sure you're nice and quiet when you land, rolling through your feet, particularly if you've got somebody living below you. So roll from the balls of the feet through the arches to the heels. So you can be as dynamic and as fast with this one as you want, again, depending on how you're feeling. Get your bottom down low enough. And then you're going to hold your squat and pulse. You wouldn't have done those 2 other exercises, so if you're tired with this one, if you can imagine you've done this on fresh legs, you might be happy to do this twice through. Okay, 3, 2, and 1. Well done, give those legs a little shake. So coming onto your back again for your abs. Okay, hands behind your head. Nice easy toe tap, because the other 2 are quite challenging. So you're going to start with a little toe tap. Okay, so bring your legs into double tabletop. Support your head, tap your left and then your right. Shoulder blades down your back. Core engaged. So make sure your head's heavy in your hands and you're pressing down the bottom of your breastbone. You're not allowing your head to be pulled up by your hands. Lengthen your neck. And then straighten your legs up to the ceiling. You're going to imprint your low back, lower your legs a couple of inches and then come back. So only go as far as you can, keeping your low back imprinted into the mat. Gradually, as the summer goes on and you practice these exercises, you might find those legs go all the way to the floor, settee allowing. But if your back lifts away from the mat, don't go any further than that. Hold your legs extended. Rotate as you slide your right foot down. So you're rotating to meet that right knee. Reach those legs back up. Slide your left foot down, rotate to meet that knee. So we're doing a reverse crisscross. So you're with straight legs, flex and rotate, extend, flex and rotate. Nearly there. One more each side. And then hug your knees in towards your chest. Well done. Okay. I don't know if you looked at my 3 routines, but this one's got killer written on it. It's a killer little shoulder bridge. So this is where we need our blocks. So with your shoulder bridge, bring your heels in towards your bottom as you do with normal shoulder bridge. Place your foot, let's say our right foot on a block. Sorry, just to be awkward. Okay, so we're going to press and lift our hips up and down. Off we go. I want you to put a good 80% of your weight into that right leg that's resting on the block. So there's hardly any weight going at all into your left leg. Keep your hips up, bring your left leg into tabletop, and then tap the toes and lift, tap and lift. Try and keep your hips as high as you can, and breathe. This is where it's going to get really nasty. In a good way. 10 seconds. Keep that knee lifted. Drop your hips and lift. Drop and lift. So just powering into this right leg now. Do what you can. There's 10 seconds gone. Ow. That's 15. Breathe. Woo. We're nearly there. 7, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, one more. And oh man alive. Straighten those legs. Push the blocks over to the other side, so your left foot's on the blocks now. Okay, let's off we go then. Lift and lower the hips, pressing into that left leg. So you've got about 80% of your weight pressing onto your block. Okay, keep your hips lifted, float your right knee into tabletop, tap the toes and float. So a couple more of these. And then hold that leg in tabletop, drop the hips and press up, strongly driving into that left leg. Can't watch the time go, it goes too slowly when you're watching. Breathe. Five seconds. One more. Oh, and then hug your knees towards your chest. Perhaps straighten the legs up to the ceiling. Open the legs wide. Get those inner thighs, hamstrings. And come onto your side. Two exercises inside plank. With your legs straight if you can, option to stay with your underneath bend or drop onto that bent underneath knee at any point. So 2 lots of 30 seconds. So your first one is just to lift and lower your hips. So up and down we go. Keep your top arm reaching up to the ceiling. Drop onto that underneath knee at any time. And then you're going to hold your side plank and thread your needle. Reach your top arm through and then back up. Exhale as you reach through. Inhale. So if you can't do this on your with straight legs, it'll be something for you to aim for. Can't do straight legs at all. Again, it'll be something to aim for, to try and do. 10 seconds here. One more. And then come down. Well done. On to the other side. Nearly there, folks. It's no stretchy time, I promise. Okay, ready? Off we go. Lift and lowering, let's get it over and done with. Five seconds. Hold your side plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, reach through. Inhale, return. Ten seconds. Time for one more. And then have a rest. Well done. Give your shoulders a little wiggle. I'm hot. All right. Last blast. Don't forget you won't be doing all these, but I can do them all back to back if you wish. All right, this is a forearm plank. So you're coming onto your hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. Okay, so we're coming up straight into a rocking forwards and backwards plank. I just like to move in my planks. So you can just stay on your knees and hold, or you can lift one knee at a time, rocking forwards and backwards. So just mobilizing through the feet. Okay, let's come into hip dips. We'll just do 20 seconds of each, dropping left to right, left to right. Hold, reach your right leg up and down, left leg and down, right and left, right and left. And then we're going to just hold for 20 seconds and then we're done. Breathe wide and full, sides of the ribs, 10 seconds left, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done, awesome. Let's come into a child's pose. So feet together, knees wide. Get your bottom back towards your heels. And then wriggle your belly between your thighs. Wiggle your chest on towards the mat. If your head can find the mat, extend your arms above your head. Just get your breath back, breathing into the back of the ribs. And then walk your hands over to the left, as far as they'll go, keeping your right buttock down on your right heel. And then place your right hand on top of your left hand, just to give you that little extra side stretch on the right hand side. And then walk your hands back to center, and then over to the right, placing your left hand on the top of your right hand, keeping your left buttock to heel. Come back to center and come onto your tummy, legs extended behind you, arms in an L shape. Take the shoulder blades down and just press up into a mini cobra, just finding the bottom of the ribs, and then lowering back down again. This time come up just a little bit higher into the mid-back, and then come back down. A little bit of pubic bone pressure, make sure the core is engaged as you come up. Find that low back. Don't try not to overextend the neck. And then bring your left hand underneath your forehead and reach round and take hold of your right foot. Check your pelvis stays equally weighted, left and right, so you haven't rolled away from that right side. A little bit of pubic bone pressure again, pressing the hips into the floor. Find that quadricep stretch. So this is the same stretching routine for all the workouts. Release your right foot, bring your right hand across, rest your forehead on your right arm, and then reach back to your left foot. Apply that pubic bone pressure. Okay, release that foot, come onto your hands and knees. But take a big step forward with your right foot, so that your hands are just to the inside of that right foot, into a runner's lunge. Check your heel is in line with your knee. And then lunge your hips forward. You have blocks or books available if you feel your upper back is rounding. Just walk your right foot, heel toe it out to the side a little bit more and just come onto the outer border of that right foot. Press your left hand into the floor and reach your right hand up to the ceiling. Just find a nice thoracic twist with your lunge. And bring that right hand down and step back with that right foot. Big step forward with your left, heel and knee in line. Hands to the inside, find your hip flexor stretch on that right side. Heel toe walk your left foot out to the side and just come onto the outer border of your left foot. Press into your right hand and reach your left hand up, but continue to allow that right hip to drop to the floor. Okay, coming onto your back, have your resistance band or your loop band handy for your hamstring stretch. So just relax your upper body, check your chin and your forehead are in line. Just check that your waists are equally lengthened, you haven't shortened your waist on the side you're stretching. Perhaps press your heel and your back of your knee on your left leg or your extended leg into the mat. Draw your shoulder blades together behind you. Exchange legs. Okay, coming into your figure of four, so cross your leg over the other leg, and then hold either between the knee and the thigh or on top of the shin. So if your left leg is across and you're stretching your left buttock, just take your legs very slightly to the right and vice versa. Just change legs. So if your right leg's across, just take your legs very slightly to the right. Pop your feet down, roll onto your side, onto your hands and knees, tuck your toes under, lift your knees, lift your bottom, find yourself in your roll down position. Enjoy your little stretch there. When you're doing this on your own, you can enjoy that stretch for as long as you wish. Draw your tummy muscles in and uncurl one vertebra at a time. Make sure your head comes up last. Bring your right hand down your back, your left hand reaches up behind. So if there's any exercises that you struggled with, something for you to work on, any you enjoy, you can always do for a bit longer. You can always have gaps in between each exercise. Or you can do them like we did, one after the other in sets. You can mix up the exercises so you don't have to stick to my plans. You can make up your own plans. Change arms. Still can't reach your fingertips, you can work on this, maybe that could be your goal for the summer. Release, give those arms a shake. Take a nice breath in, float the arms up. Well done. Awesome. I'm certainly warmed up now.